Hello, and welcome to Updated Autopsy Report, a podcast from Yotzeben and Friends where we replay the entire Ace Attorney series with longtime fans and newcomers. I'm your host, Ben, and with me today is Dessy.
Hello.
And two good friends of ours, Tiago.
Yeah.
And Rose.
Hi.
Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the newcomers. We hope that through both of our perspectives as we play through the series, it'll reveal new details and provide interesting commentary for a series that's near and dear to us. Today, we have all played through chapters 10 through 14 of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. We had some fun stuff this batch of chapters. So without further ado, I will get into the summary quick. Upon arriving at the Justice Minister's office, Sissel finds Lynn on the ground next to the body of the dead Justice Minister. He died of a heart attack moments before Lynn arrived on the scene. Sissel then jumps back 4 minutes before the minister's death and saves his life by delivering his medication to him. During the flashback, Sissel also learns that the reason the Justice Minister is so set on Jowd's execution tonight is because he's being blackmailed by Beauty and Dandy, who've kidnapped his daughter, or so they claim. Sissel travels to the kidnapper's location, and after navigating through a strangely familiar room, he opens up the suitcase with the kidnapped girl in it and discovers it's not the Justice Minister's daughter, it's Camilla. They made a wacky mistake and kidnapped the wrong girl. And strangest of all, she has a core now, which means that she died and was rescued by a ghost at some point earlier this evening. After chatting with her, Sissel also learns that Jowd is Camilla's father, and this was the room where Camilla's mother was killed. Jowd claims he shot her, but Camilla reveals that it was instead a birthday party Rube Goldberg machine that somehow went really, really badly, and Jowd took the fall for her. Because children can get tried for accidental manslaughter in this universe, too. It really is Japanifornia. Beauty threatens Sissel by turning directly to the player, almost breaking the fourth wall, and saying that she can sense Sissel's presence and will kill Camilla if she feels this presence again. They take Camilla away, and Sissel returns to the Justice Minister's office to deliver the update to Lynn and Jowd. After talking to Jowd about claiming responsibility for his wife's death, they also talk to the Justice Minister. Still not quite believing what's happening, he says he needs to talk directly to his daughter, Amelia. Sissel travels to their apartment and finds Amelia still sick in her bed. Sissel then gets the phone to her so she can call her dad and finally put this all to rest. However,
Wish him a happy birthday!
Of course, the Justice Minister still can't hand-wave Jowd's execution yet, because some other girl will still theoretically die instead. But he does allow everyone to move more freely to hopefully fix all this. Finally, he, Jowd, and Sissel all discuss the existence of a mysterious manipulator, some sort of spirit that can move people's bodies against their will. It's been something that the government has investigated for a short time, and the Justice Minister claims it moved his hand to sign the execution order. Lynn, who has gone to Temsek Park to find the missing music box with the real murder weapon of Jowd's wife in it, she then calls and tells Sissel to get over here ASAP. Upon arrival, he finds Lynn dejected as she couldn't find the box, but instead the dead body of a park activist crushed under the statue of the god of the park, Mino. Sissel jumps to 4 minutes before the activist's death, watches as Camilla is kidnapped by Dandy, and the statue of Mino nearly falls and crushes her, until at the last second, it seemingly moves 10 feet to the right, out of the way, and crushes the park activist. Who in the world could have these incredible new ghost tricks? Sissel calls out for them to show themselves. And it's Missile. Yes, our favorite little doggy is back. He's dead, and he has even stronger ghost tricks than Sissel. Dandy ran over Missile on his way to the kidnapping, killing the poor dog, who then used his new powers of the dead to save Camilla. Now with their powers combined, Sissel and Missile swap objects and move them to create a new timeline in which neither Camilla nor the park activist die. Now they talk to them, and they reveal that they reveal to Lynn and crew that when Lynn was held hostage in this park 10 years ago, instead of Jowd shooting the kidnapper, in actuality, a meteorite fell from space and pierced his body.
Yeah, sure.
Once again, Jowd has claimed he killed someone when he actually didn't. They visit Jowd, and he says he committed to pulling the trigger before the meteorite hit the kidnapper, which makes him a murderer in his heart anyway. He also reveals that the painting he did in his cell was of the kidnapper. Why does he look exactly like Sissel? Plus, Jowd says he knows that man's name, and it wasn't Sissel. Before they can reveal more, the Justice Minister's phone rings, and Cabanela is on the other line. He strangely demands that Jowd's execution still go through since, don't forget, they still have a hostage. Sissel follows the phone line to where Cabanela is, desperate to save Camilla. And that's where we left it, on a cliffhanger from this section.
A lot of stuff happens. A lot of stuff. Much
so
to think
much
about.
is going on. Much to think about, indeed.
Like that image of fucking Gandhi staring out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, what was the first thing we did? We saved the Justice Minister. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Justice Minister.
Yeah, he's having a rough birthday, buddy.
Also, technically, is it still his birthday? Because it's like midnight, right?
Right.
So, like, is it the next day or,
listen, the daughter's still got to wish her dad a happy birthday either way, right?
Yeah.
I did that to my dad yesterday.
Happy birthday, Dad. We can never release the date of when we actually record this, because then we're doxing your father.
It's okay.
I'm not telling you the year.
No one will know.
True. I like the minister. I think he's a cool guy. Well, let me be clear. I think he's an interesting character. I don't know if I'd hang out with him in real life. I don't know if I should know Justice Ministers. I don't know if Justice Ministers exist in our world. Do they?
Are you waiting for me to answer
Would that be like the chief prosecutor, maybe, or something?
It could be a little like a chief prosecutor on
Yeah.
it. Wait, do chief prosecutors exist in the real world?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a real thing. Ace Attorney didn't make that up.
They're just public prosecutors
I thought they were district attorneys.
That's different.
That's different? Okay. It is very apparent how little I know about actual government structure, and how I assume all of it's based off of Ace Attorney.
I mean, you're probably not the only person.
True. I don't know.
Attorney's probably like the only reason some people have even like touched or even thought about that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I should know more. No, I should know more about my local government, but that's a chapter for another day. I don't have much to say about the Justice Minister, because he's kind of just like a character, right? Like, he's just the guy who's really stressed. He literally had a heart attack because he was so stressed.
Right.
And
Is he related to Uptight Cop Guy?
Who's Uptight Cop Guy?
Uptight Cop?
You're talking about Officer Bailey, who does his dance.
Oh,
No, the other one.
The other one?
Are you talking about the cops who are in the green and blue suit? No.
Wait, I thought...
Go ahead.
No, I'm confused. I thought the other guy did the stress dance.
No. Officer Bailey was the one who did the panic dance.
Oh, the panic.
But the other guy who was mocking him, he's way more loosey goosey. He's just kind of like, hey, whatever, man, just relax.
Okay.
That dude hit the fucking blunt before he clocked into work that day. You know what I mean? Like, he's definitely toked up.
That's good. I'm happy for him.
I don't know. The minister is just like a character, and it's weird to think that this guy has like a personality and the hottest wife in the game. It's actually kind of fucked up.
She seems very high maintenance.
I would love to be her maintainer.
Okay.
All right. We're only 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I think we should start over.
We should just start the entire podcast. Welcome to Yo Together Friends. My name is Tiago.
Yep, welcome to the updated Autopsy report. Dessy and I are the longtime fans, and Rose and Tiago are the yeah.
Listen, Capcom baddies. I like the puzzles in this section because for some reason the Justice Minister's room is like a Rube Goldberg machine. Every fucking room we go into is a Rube Goldberg machine. Just wonderful like stuff, little knickknacks you get to touch and poke and jostle. and then
Yeah.
you use like a suit of armor to knock the pills back into the Justice Minister's mouth because
He just like overdoses, like right there.
I guess he's. I'm just surprised that like his condition is so bad that like a bad phone call can cause it. You know what I mean? He should take a day off, but I guess he literally can't because he's being held. Well, his daughter is being held hostage.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, I feel very relatable to him. That was literally me. So
Rose, we should get you some more water.
I have a big cup of water. I'm good. This is why I'm
All
still alive. I'm never without a giant cup of water.
There we go. You don't need any ghost tricks to drink any water. After the incident at the Justice Minister where we save him, Lynn's like, oh, go like save his daughter because I guess that's how we have to fucking do this. I can't believe that like there's like a weird government conspiracy when it's coming to psychics, right? Like ghost tricks and shit. Where it's like Jad's wife was killed by potentially a ghost. The Justice Minister was potentially like possessed, I guess. They're calling it manipulated, and I think it's strange that they're just not choosing possession, an actual ghost ability.
Seems like an odd choice of words, but I'll just substitute it in my brain.
Well, I guess it was before they knew about ghosts, right? Like, they just assume that they're, like, it's manipulation as opposed to possession.
Yeah, or, like, hypnosis might be a better bet.
They should release a government
some MK Ultra shit.
I imagine that, like, as soon as they figure out that ghosts exist, they should release, like, a government document that says, like, hey, ghosts exist, here's what they can do. Be wary. Watch your fucking back, you know?
Well, they've got to figure out what ghosts can do. I don't even know all the things ghosts can do, because this, like, chunk we've established that not only... we suspected there were other people who had ghost powers. But not only are there definitely other people who have ghost powers, aside from Ray the Lamp, there, like, other ghosts have different powers.
Yeah.
Some of them very different, I'm gonna bet. So
yeah, we established that I mean, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but just to bring the context in here fully, since I didn't put it in the summary, is that Missile, when you meet him and realize he's got ghost powers as well, his ability is not possessing an object and manipulating it and moving an object. His is that he can swap objects as long as they are a similar shape. So he can swap two ball-shaped objects. Doesn't matter if they're different sizes or anything, just as long as they're both ball-shaped, right?
And that might sound
that's kind of the critical part.
Not as good, but his range is crazy. He can go so far. This is the fastest dog on earth.
It's so funny the first time
I
that you get to
my
like
paw
use his
up, and he's like
it goes so far, and Sizzle's like, what the fuck, dude? You can go so much further than me. Why is that? And he's like, I don't know.
Missile slowly turning into like a fucking god, while like Sissel is just like the average ghost. Level 1 ghost versus level 100 dead dog. We go back to Beauty and Dandy, and we find out that Camilla's kidnapped. Her recliner seat looked so fucking comfortable. When you pull her out of the suitcase, she's like reclining in a chair with a hot, well, not a hot drink, but like a tropical drink and like a book.
Yeah, and it's got like a little cup holder and like an armrest and everything. Like it unfolds perfectly out of this trunk. It's very funny animation.
I wish I had that trunk, like in real life. I would bring it to places. I would have a recliner seat wherever I went, and some juice and a book. That shit's crazy.
Living the high life.
Beauty and Dandy. Well, Beauty's aware of like the fact that there are psychic powers and shit, because I assume that like maybe that was the deal that they were gonna make. I don't recall.
We don't know what the deal is yet, but look, because there is some like evidence that like people have like some sort of psychic abilities, because Jowd can like sense us a little bit as well. Like during the whole like you gotta move him around segment, like you can like signal to him without doing anything. Right. Like he also has some sort of sixth sense a little bit, so I guess she does as well.
Hmm.
Um,
She is related, but she also died.
Yeah.
Beauty and Dandy. You said that Beauty died? Who?
No, sorry, I thought we were talking about Camilla still.
No, Camilla did die, and she got... I like this part a lot because it fucking freaked me the hell out that Camilla died, and I was like, oh shit, did I do that?
There's a brief moment where you're like, wait a minute, why does she have a core, right? It's a good moment, right?
Yeah. I like this segment as well because they're in the old house in which that, like, Camilla accidentally killed her mom. And if the government found out about that, she would be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Because children can commit accidental manslaughter.
Apparently.
Yeah.
You know what's there's a timeline where Camilla got arrested and she got sent to the special prison with Wienerhead and Rockstar.
Yeah.
She would... No. Japanifornia. I'm mad all over again.
Japanifornia has different laws, alright? They say that if a child is near a crime scene, A, they're guilty, and B, they're going straight to prison.
I don't know a lot about Japanese law, but it's very easy to Google California law.
How easy is it, Rose?
Super easy. Let's all do it right now together.
Everyone pause the podcast, look up whether or not children can be sent to jail in
California. They cannot.
California.
I'll save you the trouble, everybody.
I'm just imagining Camilla painting Sissel's face. Like, I never want to forget the face that I never saw and had no interaction with.
But yeah, so that she created this big Rube Goldberg machine to light the candles on this cake, right, for her mom as she comes home. But somehow this little Cupid that fires the arrow turned 180 degrees and fired the arrow the wrong direction, which made this gun that was mounted on the mantle in a frame turn and twist and shoot a bullet out and kill her mom.
Why is there a fucking loaded gun
The
hanging on the
ghost
wall?
loaded the gun. And
Yeah,
it was
that's the thing. Jowd says it was unloaded.
Yeah.
I don't know how it fired.
It shot a ghost bullet. That's probably someone's trick, is that they can make bullets.
Oh.
This is just getting close.
That's just Mista from JoJo.
Yeah, no, we are getting closer and closer to stand abilities. I mean, Missile literally has a stand ability.
Yeah.
There's a JoJo book where someone has a stand called Joy Division, where all it does is that if there's an object in his left hand, he can instantly transport it to his right hand. That is the ability.
That is so useful.
Listen, he has to, like, give somebody to something, but it doesn't fit through the door. So he puts his hand through, like, a mail slot, and then it's like, oh yeah, check this out. Bam! Now it's in there.
I love JoJo's.
Yeah, you can make the craziest shit work.
You're like, how on earth would that be useful? And then they prove it's incredibly useful.
By contriving a situation in which it's useful.
A highly specific situation where it's necessary to do that. You're like, damn, if only I had the ability to transport something from my left hand to my right hand instantly.
Instead of just passing it through my hand. So, like, we find out that Camilla's not, Camilla's the one that is kidnapped. It is not the Justice Minister's daughter. We then have to check on the Justice Minister's daughter and his hot wife, who is right now hiding out in an apartment because the Justice Minister was manipulated into signing an order to kill Detective Jowd. He did not think this was manipulation until he saw a report about manipulation and shit. Oh, that's me for real. It's just how, like, you don't think you have, like, a disorder until you read it in a paper, and then it's like, oh, wow, I really identify with that. The Justice Minister identifies with getting possessed. He tells his wife. He does not tell anyone in the cabinet, but he tells his wife. And his wife is like, you either tell the truth or I'm leaving. Like, the most moral character in this fucking game so far is the hot MILF next door.
Who writes the fan fiction?
Who writes sexy fan fiction about her and her lifestyle.
Counterpoint, she was threatening Missile with physical harm.
Damn.
Just saying.
Yeah, I forgot about I forgot about previous testimony. I should have fucking My bad. No, you're right. Fair enough. That's a couple points subtracted.
Okay. Call out sufficient.
Call out sufficient.
I just think it makes her less attractive.
That's true.
To threaten violence against animals, yeah.
I have selective amnesia. I'm choosing to forget that. No,
it's essentially like he's ashamed of what happened, right? But he also thinks nobody will believe him, and despite the fact that the government has already been investigating quote unquote manipulator at this point, but he's kind of terrified that it got to him, right? And he's like, oh man, I've goofed now, and this is not going to work out. And I don't know. It's the whole bit with this is hang on. Who all is in the loop on the manipulator, right? The Justice Minister is the only one here, right?
Detective Cabanella.
Cabanella is aware of it as well. That's right. So that's why Jowd's like, wait a minute, this all of a sudden makes a ton of sense. A manipulator? What if he manipulated this gun to shoot my wife?
I remember the Justice Minister being like, I didn't want to like talk about it because if higher officials are able to be manipulated, this entire country would fall apart. No one would be able to trust their government, and meanwhile I'm staring directly into the camera and I'm like, man, that's crazy.
In a fictional world, dude, that makes sense.
In a world that, like, yeah, you're right. Oh god. The Justice Minister, real sad. But we get the phone to the little lady, and the little lady calls her papa and goes, happy birthday, love you very much, and I'll apologize for my mom, who is currently trapped in a chandelier by a ghost who mouse-trapped her.
Yeah, literally mouse-trap. Like, it was like the Mousetrap board game, in which you toss this little rat, this poor little rat.
That poor rat!
He's not dead. He's not dead, but we do electrocute him.
We did.
Rat's a very, very bad day.
I was forced to do cruelty to animals.
But it's to solve a puzzle. So,
you lit its tail on fire.
I like rats. I think they're cute.
Rats are cute.
I also like rats.
And you drop this like chandelier and like trap her in it, and then yank it up to the ceiling so that she is dangling and kicking her feet, and cannot stop you from giving the phone to the daughter. It's a really like comedic bit because there's a lot of escalation in this puzzle, right?
Yeah.
And you keep and you have to get her to walk over, and then drop it. And I don't know if when you guys were doing this, did any of you drop it at the wrong time and have her dodge it?
Oh yeah,
because her dodge animation
it was sick.
It's an insane dodge. Like, that is a fighting game dodge. Like, fucking.
She's like fucking Neo.
Jury Han could not do a better dodge.
I was just like button mashing because I was like not sure what was gonna happen, and she just out to the side. I was like, holy shit.
We do have to torture a rat in order to get this puzzle to resolve. We open a hatch, the rat falls into a clock, like, bell? What's the thing at the bottom of a clock that goes back and forth? What is that called?
Pendulum?
The pendulum.
Pendulum.
Yeah, like the band.
Yeah, like, wait, there's a band called Pendulum?
Yeah.
I'll listen to them later.
Okay.
This lady grabs a wine bottle and smacks the shit out of this rat. That was scary. I was like, whoa.
Like Super Smash Brothers baseball bat style, like, pa-ching!
True, we did hear. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I briefly had this moment in which I was like, man, I don't remember much about this. Do we have to go back 4 minutes in the past and save the rat's life again too?
I was thinking about it. I was immediately like, I'm going for the rat. And so I was like, oh, he's alive. I owe him an apology. And I was like, oh, okay, thank goodness.
Once the rat gets smacked, it gets back up into the ceiling. It lands on top of a valve. We turn the valve and it connects him to open circuitry and causes a blackout in the fucking room. He's alive, though. He survived both that, and then we light his tail on fire in order to light a candle. That third part is the cruelest part. To me, is the fire thing. Just like, come on, like the other shit was like instantaneous. You know what I mean? Fire is like permanent. You know,
he's gonna have a little black tip tail for the rest of his days.
He's gonna have like a burn scar, and he's gonna be known as the scarred rat in his apartment building, and he's gonna be punished Venom Rat, and he's gonna terrorize this lady for years to come. But yeah, we get the little lady on the phone. She calls the Justice Minister. Bing, bada, boom. We do not have to go back into the rat life because remember, the rat is fine. Everybody, it's that fucking line at the end of Velocipaster. She's fine.
Yeah, there we go. That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Velocipaster.
Listen,
that's a movie.
So she's fine. She's fine.
Truly,
don't worry about it.
One of the movies of all time.
Every time I think to myself, she's fine, I think of that scene from Velocipaster. We then go back to the Justice Office Minister, who gives us the deep lore about the manipulation. Jowdy's like, oh, I was willing to die before, like, I knew that my daughter was kidnapped, and I thought it would end everything, but it turns out running away from my problems, it wasn't the solution. And if I were to get killed by electric chair, it would only assuage my pain, not my daughter's. And I'm just like, damn, it only took several mousetraps for you to figure that out. Thanks, man.
Also explaining the fact that ghosts exist finally kind of shook you as well.
Yes, the ghost thing.
Yeah.
We find that the gun that has the real gun that shot Jowd's wife is in the music box that Lynn has, and that Camilla was supposed to transport to the park, but Camilla was kidnapped on the way, so it must still be at the park. We gotta go back to the park.
And again, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but when we get the music box and bring it back to Jowd, you know, I'm sure the park is where we'll spend most of our time talking about that segment. But when we bring the gun back to Jowd, he opens he's like, hey, here's how you open up the music box. You got to just do this. And he just goes and breaks it open with his hands. He just wrenches it open and then pulls the gun out of it like a Looney Tunes. It's too big for this box, right? It's like a Looney Tunes pull this gun out of a bag of holding.
It was like Mary Poppins style, for sure.
Yeah. And says, here's the gun. And it's just, there's all these little touches, right, where short moment-to-moment stuff, which could just have been solved without these extensive animations, right? Like this happens all the time in Ace Attorney, where somebody says, oh, I'm holding this, or I wave the, metal detector, right? But there's no unique animations for any of that stuff, right? You just get a little bit of audio, and then there's text describing the action happening. Here, almost every single thing is played out in these actual animations, and the artists just have so much fun with the gags that they can do with them, right? And I think that just adds a lot of character to a scene in which otherwise would be just a whole bunch of like essentially lore dumps, right? In which we're talking about, oh, here's how the gun worked, and here's what happened, and here's how ghosts work, or whatever, right? And instead we get these goofy little animations of people pulling a gun out of a tiny, tiny music box. And it's like 3 times the size.
It's very, like, it's the exaggerated stage acting, right? Where, like, we are looking in on a theater stage, and that they have to obviously have this gun so that people in the back can see it, so it's gonna be this thing that's the size of, like, someone's head.
Right.
The fucking hammer space in this box was used, and this gun is fucking huge. We had to, in order to get the gun, though, we had to go to the park, and at the park, a hippie was killed by the statue of... I know the god's name is Mino, but I keep thinking it's Minmo.
Yeah, it's Minmo now.
Yeah. Healthy and strong with Minmo.
Mm-hmm.
Grow up big and strong with Minmo.
Yeah.
Everybody check out Ben's co-host where he did his 30-day logo challenge. The Minmo one is my favorite.
Oh, thanks.
We have to go back to the time of this hippie. Do we even get his name?
No. His official title in the game files is Park Guardian. But he's like I described him as an activist, right? He's like basically protesting that they're going to turn this park into a housing development.
Yeah.
And he's like, keep the park around, So he's a little bit of a stereotype, right? Because he's just constantly handing out leaflets and saying, you got to save the park. You got to save the park god statue that's here too. Like, this is all super important, Yeah. We can't build houses here.
They turned like just activism into religious activism.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that kind of tinge too in his design and everything. Yeah.
To be fair though, if a meteorite hit my park, I might do the same. I might just go out there and be like,
somebody who kidnapped a child.
If a meteorite killed someone who kidnapped a child, I might also be thinking it's the Rock of the Gods,
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Rock from Part 5, the Rolling Stone. Remember that stand? The one,
yeah.
A stone that just follows you until it crushes you?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It follows.
The film It Follows.
Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like that.
It's just like that.
I kind of wish that it was just a rock that followed me, and like they should make that a horror film. Actually, I would watch that. In which it's a boulder that just rolls around and it chases.
They have a movie like that, isn't it? That what's it called? The Rubber.
Yeah, I was about to mention Rubber. Thank you.
Yes.
I was like waiting for everyone.
And that's a tire.
It's a tire, yeah.
Yes, it is a tire.
It's a psychic tire.
What a wild time.
I don't think I've ever finished Rubber. I only got like through halfway. I got to the scene where like everyone's looking at the tire, being like, "Oh, hey, a tire," and then it kills like 20 people. Anyway.
I mean, that's also a ghost trick.
That's pretty much
a ghost trick.
Pretty much the movie.
Oh my
god. We have to save this activist because he knows where the box is. We go back into his 4 minutes and then find out that he was killed as a result of Missile saving his mistress. Thank you, Missile. You're the most devoted dog I've ever seen in video game history. You're willing. The fact that Missile goes, like, Sissel's like, all right, Missile, you're dead. We have to go back in time to save you. And he goes, no, I think with these powers, I'll be able to keep Camellia alive. I'm willing to be dead for the sake of my owner.
For a little bit longer.
Missile, you can't bark when you're dead. No one will hear you.
I have no mouth and yet I must bark.
The entire time I'm recording this segment too, my dog's been quite grumpy because she hasn't been sleeping well, so she's yapping it up a storm, and I'm like, you.
Yep.
She's getting into the spirit.
We can never let your dog have ghost tricks.
No, she wouldn't know what to do with. My dog is not bright. Missile is a smart boy. Roxy, not so much.
But to establish like the exact, like, I don't want to like just exactly recite what happens here, but like essentially I wanted to know your reactions to this moment because you see this huge rock, it's about to hit Camilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it all of a sudden like goes into slow-mo, right, as it's about to crush her, and then just kind of goes over to the right, and
it does a wheedly whoop and ends up over there.
Yeah, and Sissel's just like, what the fuck is going on?
I also, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, you get your answers real quick, but I was just curious if anybody was like really like these two back-to-back beats of this huge rock moving and then getting it revealed that it was Missile, right? I wanted to drill down into the exact like reactions here for everybody.
I probably could have seen it coming because there was like another ghost saved her, and then like I see like the rock do that, and I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the moment where another ghost saves her. And I didn't, and then you see that little like light, and you're like, holy shit, that's the other ghost. Like, who could it possibly be? And yeah, it's the little guy.
Little dude.
I think
you get to jump like through the map, right, to connect to the ghost.
Yeah.
So you actually get to physically choose the moment to connect to them. It's not like handed to you in a cutscene, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. Sissel was just as surprised as I was, for sure.
I think I knew that Missile was gonna end up as a ghost. That's what I recall for sure. Is that Missile's fucking dead. Missile died in the exact location that a meteor hit the fucking park. Ran over by Dandy, who is, I forgot to say that Danny is like just like a people pleaser. It's strange, right?
He's
like,
on my
just
shit
like
list now because he hit a dog and killed it.
I know, I was just like, oh, he's kind of not that terrible. Oh, never mind.
He rode a pedal bike so fast that when he collided with an actual alive dog, he killed it.
I think,
like, damn, dude.
I think
now, granted, it's Pomeranian. They're small and fragile dogs.
I think
Yes.
I think it was the impact on the ground. I think Missile was just too high up in the air. Yeah.
And
It said flying.
I did notice that when
He took fall damage.
in the flashback, when Missile activates his little ghosty powers, you see that same in the very beginning, you see like some sort of smoke coming out of your dead body. That, and you go to Ray and you're like, Ray, what's that? And he's like, I don't fucking know, or whatever. And you see that again, but it's not coming from Missile. It is coming from what is later revealed to be the meteorite that is under the ground above Missile's dead body. So, just saying.
Yeah.
Rose will remember that.
Rose is gonna remember that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rose
we'll
is
see.
gonna remember that.
Rose will remember that. Now, I'm trusting this game's been written well enough so far that that's gonna be important later, but we'll see.
Has there been a moment in this game in which something wasn't important later?
I don't know yet. I'm not at later.
Damn, good point.
True.
Yeah,
I'll find out.
that's a valid ass argument. Okay, fair enough. So whenever you go into the ghost world, your color is red because you have a red suit and you're Sissel. When you go into the ghost world as Missile, it's green. I like this a lot because they're opposite colors, so it's really easy to tell which one you are. And also, Missile straight up has different abilities. He cannot interact with the world unless he is swapping two things.
Right.
Why? I understand mechanically why his ability is like that, right? Because
game.
Yeah, because this is a video game. I'm wondering, like, is there just a personality thing about Missile where he just swaps two things? Like,
yeah, his life for Camilla's.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Holy shit!
Dead on.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. All right, thanks. I'm gonna write that into the answer box here.
I'll incorporate that into my worldview.
I'll incorporate that into my worldview. So like, I really struggled at this puzzle because what you have to do is, you essentially have to slow down the hippie, and if you don't slow down the hippie, he gets crushed with a rock. I didn't know that I had to slow down the hippie. I thought we were just supposed to lower the...
He tells like 10 times you need to fucking hurry up because of his childlike energy or whatever.
They said we needed to slow him down, but I was trying to, like, do the wrong thing. I was trying to, like, hit him in the head with, like, the objects on the seesaw or whatever.
Interesting that Rose's first knee-jerk reaction is violence.
Yes. I didn't realize that I could get onto the jungle gym and spin it, which is the solution.
Yes, I also struggled getting to that solution. You see, I had the opposite route where my goal was to get to the football as fast as possible. And I realized that no matter how fast you go, if you go straight to the balloon from the jungle gym, his animation will always play, and that he'll always jump on the seesaw. I had to, like, learn it. I had to be like, oh yeah, the patterns. I now see him. He's like a Dark Souls boss. And I have to fucking make sure to spin this stupid-ass fucking jungle gym until he stops so I can buy myself some time. There's no, like... In the other, like, time puzzles, there's, like, a situation where you do, like, a fate change, and that, like, creates, like, a checkpoint in the puzzle for you to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
That's not in this one. Which means... When I failed 20 times, I always went to the beginning of the fucking puzzle. Which means now I hate this guy. And I...
Understandable, have a nice day.
I mean, the game is not particularly kind to him. He's kind of treated as a useful idiot, almost, right?
I love useful idiots. I hate him in particular, because I just couldn't solve this puzzle. I actually think his dialogue's pretty cute, where, like, he realizes he's been dead for a while, and he goes, "Are you gonna save me? Or are you a god?" And Sissel's like, "I actually don't know about that, man. Let's take it easy." And then
he's got a really good line about god or godlike abilities, which is really funny.
And then he was like, and then Lynn is like, "Oh, do you mean dog or dog-like abilities?" I was like, "No, I got it."
That did make me laugh.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit.
I actually think his personality through this, I actually like him as like a weird add-on to this puzzle because he supplies commentary that's like, you should always respect the jungle gym. The jungle gym has so much power. If you don't respect it, you'll fall off and you'll skin your knee or something like that.
He's so true, King. So true.
So true, King. I just got mad at this puzzle because you had to get a ball onto the seesaw. You gotta launch the ball into an umbrella. Then you gotta use missiles power to swatch the ball with a tire that causes the football to fall, and then you switch the football with Minmo, and now Minmo's in the trash can instead of on top of a hippie.
Healthy and strong.
The hippie was knocked out for like 5 hours from a football?
Don't worry about it.
The puzzle, so like when we go back like 4 minutes before his death, it says 8:35 p.m., but when we initially got into the scene, it's like 1 a.m. He's been on the ground for 5 hours from being hit in the head with a deflated football. Deflated. There's no air in this thing.
I think he's just that.
Yeah, he seems
like... He has no shoes. His dogs are out. And that's something I noticed. I thought that joke was funnier when I said it out loud, but then I realized how insane it made me sound.
That's okay.
Keep it in.
The problem with this whole thing, though, is that no matter what you do, Camilla still gets kidnapped.
Yes.
You can't change that much of fate. Now, I will say the other bit that's really, really funny at the end is that, yes, when you talk to Missile then, and you're like, Missile, okay, like, because Lynn picks up Missile's dead body, and she's like, okay, Missile, you're such a good dog, you're so brave, you're so strong, we've got your body. And Sissel's like, all right, we're going to save you now, Missile. I'm going to jump back and try to save you. And Missile's like, no, I want to stay dead a little longer because I got superpowers now. So they've got his body, so as long as they don't let it decompose for the moment, they still might be able to save Missile. But he wants to stay dead.
Yeah.
And he possesses a leaf, right?
Yeah.
And floats down. And Lynn holds this leaf up as she's talking to him.
Oh yeah, she has one fucking job and she fails it miserably.
She lets the leaf go. Wind comes through and blows Missile the leaf away. And she goes, instead of going anything like, oh no, Missile, no, or anything like that, she's like, well, I leave that job to you, Missile. Go rescue Camilla. Just like trusting that somehow he'll get there. Like, the poor boy's blown away.
It's like
what are you doing?
It's like Homeward Bound. He'll find his way, like... I
trust you, Missile.
He has so much good ghost range. Like he'll make it. Like his range is like triple Sissel's, and Sissel can get anywhere in town.
Yeah.
So like,
presumably Missile can follow phone lines too, but we haven't.
Well,
seen
maybe he can follow something else.
Wait, actually, I actually don't.
Maybe he can follow the wind.
I actually don't think he can use phone lines because whenever you use a phone line, it's interacting with an object. And he can't interact with phones. He can only swap it with another phone-like object.
His range is real fucking far, though, still. I think he'll
find a way. We just have to hope he doesn't end up, like, in the ocean.
He's just swapping back and forth through fish forever to get onto shore.
Missile's still stuck in the ocean right now.
He's just furiously switching through rocks at the bottom.
I imagine like a fisherman like being like, boss, I saw some really weird shit today. I caught a bass, but it was actually a salmon, but it was actually a tilapia. It kept fucking changing, man. I don't know.
I think I've been at sea for too long.
I think I'm losing it. I love the idea of Missile just being out there in the world swapping shit like a fucking natural disaster. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, it's a really good bit, and it's, I don't know, the dialogue for Missile is just written so well. It just perfectly encapsulates like that kind of hyperactive
Dog.
a dog-like energy with also the unending optimism, right? Like, oh, well, it's fine for me to be dead because I've got powers now and I can help Camilla, so I'm fine with it, right?
For now.
I just want to do whatever I can,
Genuinely, like, whoever wrote this dog loves dogs. Like, that's how I feel about it, Like, there's just... Missile is an extrovert, but, like, in a good way. That implies, like, don't like extroverts. Never. I don't want to create that. I don't want to create that lore about me. Never mind.
I mean, we've we've talked a little bit about it, right? Like that Shu Takumi had a dog named Missile at the time, right? And was I think that this is just him like putting his love for his own pet into this game in kind of just like condensed form, right?
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I think you can feel it through the text, right? That this is like really informed by his actual pet. I don't know. Maybe I'm like overreading too much into it.
I thought he got it after.
He got the dog after the name Missile was used in the original Ace Attorney trilogy.
Mm.
So my understanding is that they named the dog in the original trilogy Missile, and then Takumi got a Pomeranian and named them Missile as well. And then he had Missile during the development of Ghost Trick, and that was kind of how they got written in.
Yeah, the timeline is Ace
he really
Attorney,
got into it.
Ace Attorney, real dog, Ghost Trick.
Yes, correct.
Missile's
God
so
bless
cute.
Missile.
I love him so much.
I love Missile. Missile's honestly like I miss Missile already. I miss him.
He'll be back.
He better be. Otherwise, I'm killing Lynn in real life. I want to show her a Ghost Trick.
I mean, it's very fun that you have forgotten so much, Tiago, because we can have these moments again.
Yes, no, I know the general ending of the game. I can't recall how we get there. The journey. I only recall the destination, not the journey.
Right.
What the fuck are we doing next? We got the music box to Lynn. Like, what is there to do now?
We gotta go save Camilla.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about that.
Yeah,
presumably with Missile's help.
Justice Minister's office. Yeah, they kind of go. They open up the music box. We have that bit like we talked about, and then you get the call from Cabanela in which he's talking kind of strangely and is like, "Hey, we've still got the girl. We're still gonna kill her if you don't, make this execution happen." And
that's definitely
kind of like
he's mind controlled, right? Like,
what's going on?
I actually think the thing about Camilla is that he's a dirty cop, but like in the opposite direction, where he's too obsessed with law and order, and that is actively like fucking over our intentions. Like he's too obsessed with it. Like they talk about it, right? Like how he has like a
by the book.
He's got like
Lynn confronts him, at one point during this segment, right, where she's like, "You are so obsessed with your perfect record and looking good in front of people." She's like, "You didn't have any reason to parade Jowd through the Justice Minister's office, but you did it anyway so that you looked good in front of him," right?
Yeah. So
she kind of gave him a dressing down during that, which was fun.
I just want to chew him like gum. You know what I mean?
You want to pull on that? You want to pull on that scarf and spin him around so hard he gets dizzy and falls over.
He's had it too good for too long.
Take that scarf off like a pull and peel.
Yeah, I do kind of want to just like bully him a little bit, just like die, shove him in a locker,
spin him like a Beyblade. We have to. So like when we called Cabanela, it looked like he was back at the junkyard. I don't know why he went back to the junkyard. The junkyard basement room also set up like the room that killed Detective Jowd's mom. Wife.
I'm going there.
Yeah.
You're going in there?
I'm going in.
That's strange.
You're going in?
Why is it? Why was there a reconstruction of it down there? That is strange, huh?
Yeah, man. I generally don't remember why there's a reconstruction of the basement. What's up with the pigeon guy who looks like a rhinoceros? He has like a nose and it looks like a horn and there's a bird on his head. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
I miss him.
Well, guess good news. We're going back to the junkyard. Maybe he'll be there.
I hope that when we go there, we have an opportunity to kill Detective Cabanela. I don't think we haven't killed enough people, actually, despite being a ghost.
He's the only person who we haven't had to save his life yet, so he's the only person who doesn't have to deal with me pestering him constantly.
Our track record for saving has been Lynn several times, so that's too much to count.
I'm gonna say Lynn.
Missile. We didn't save the waitress because she never died. We saved the detective in the van because he was related to Lynn's death.
Right.
We saved Jowd.
Mm-hmm.
We saved I'm skipping over the hippie.
And now we can talk to Camilla, which is, we didn't save her, but I can talk to her, so I can bother her all the time. Kind of the same thing.
We can bother her now. That's the like dead people that we know about, right?
For now.
Yeah.
So far.
For now. True. Someone else will die if it is crazy how many deaths have occurred in this one town in like 6 hours.
It's been a little crazy.
It's Detroit.
It's Japanifornia.
When we're in the Justice Minister's office too, like the first part when they start talking about the manipulator, Cabanella's there, and everybody else is having a conversation in their minds with the ghosts, except for with Sissel, like except for Cabanella. And after a while, he's like, "What's going on? What are you doing? Can all of you hear this ghost except for me?"
Everyone's like, "Yep."
Everybody's like, "Yes, yes, yes." It's a very good bit, because even the Justice Minister is like, I don't want to admit that ghosts exist. And then after you keep pestering him, he's like, "Oh, fine, okay, you're real."
I will pester the hell out of anyone. I love it.
When Rose becomes a ghost, we're gonna know about it.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna be bothering everybody.
I'm gonna be watching Kamen Rider Ryuki, and Rose just gonna be turning my TV back on and off.
No, I mean, I'll watch, though.
Oh, shit.
I hope that's not your ghost trick power.
Turning the TV on.
You could just turn TVs on and off.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Sissel's powers or Missile's power?
Sissel.
Right now, Sissel, so I can turn the TV on and watch it.
But Missile got good range, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has to be the same shape. How often does that happen?
I'm very sensible, though. My house is full of doodads and knickknacks, so I would be able to get around real easy.
Yeah, in your own home, it would be fine.
Yeah,
but what if you want to go to the movies?
You gotta spill some things, just have a few scattered items, right?
Yeah, just get
and make sure that you got ceiling fans everywhere, and make sure that all the ceiling fans have a couple streamers dangling from them.
If I want to go to the movies, I just get in somebody's bag and they ride the bus down to like Coolidge Corner or whatever. I'll just hang out in the movie theater there.
We've somehow turned this being dead scenario into being the sidekick of a magical girl. Fucking
yeah, I'd like
that. Yeah, you're just the
yeah.
fucking Black Cat in Sailor Moon. You're just going around and hanging out with all your friends.
I mean, are we not Lynn's sidekick?
Yeah.
At this point.
Lynn's a magical girl and we're just the fucking cat?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's definitely what she thinks, anyways.
I mean, true. She literally just let Missile go into the fucking wind. What happens if that leaf gets
bossing us around all the time?
Yeah. What happens if that leaf gets caught in I don't know,
a shredder,
compost pile? Yeah, shredder.
Can Missile? No! If Missile gets caught on a telephone line, do you think he can get directly into it that way? Is it the flowing electrical current that lets us move?
Depends on his powers, I guess.
I'm calling Takumi up. I got some questions for this man. I want to know more about the in-depth ghost world.
I think I'm asking questions that cannot be answered with what we know. So, alas.
Yeah, for the record, I would choose Missile's powers. And here's the thing, right? Is that he can only swap things with the same shape, but that's based on perspective. I'm pretty sure that if I just look at things differently, everything is the same shape.
Just change your perspective.
Just change my perspective. I'd be able to swap any. I've thought about this a little too much, I think.
My final message: change your perspective.
Save the world.
I mean, that's basically they're all these little ghosties now. We got Missile and Sissel running around, and
We have a third.
They're gonna do their.
We have a third manipulator ghost on the loose.
Right. We've got this other. Yeah. Who knows what they are and exactly what their powers are, but at the very least, it seems like they can kind of move people's bodies while they're still seemingly aware of it, right? So,
yeah, he was aware of it when he was getting his hand manipulated.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh my goodness, why is my hand moving on its own? I don't want to sign this." He hands it to the guard, and the guard takes the execution order away. And he's like, "Don't take it!" And the guard's like, "Yes, sir, I will take it."
You know what's wild is that, like, you're talking about the confidential, like, ghosts are real and the government knows about it discussion. And the justice minister goes, "Only us in this room knows about it." Meanwhile, there's 2 guards on the wall listening.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
don't
just
listen,
like
they just stand there.
They're not listening for sure. They're just like zoning. They have podcasts in.
Wait, it's like
those helmets cover their ears. It's fine.
It's 2010. They're listening to Fort Minor from on their headphones. There was a bit here, and I kind of lost the thread.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I mean, yeah. Here's the thing. Our next segment is going to be the end of the game. We're wrapping it up next time. So here's your chance, your final chance to make predictions to where you think things are going. Tiago, I'm really sorry, but I think I might have to exempt you from this since you remember the ending.
No, you should exempt me from this because I remember the ending.
So, Rose, predictions? Any?
Oh,
have you got any in the tank?
Okay. Oh my goodness. I mean, we still have no idea who we are. Like, are we even Sissel at this point? Like, What if we're not Sissel? What was the deal with that lamp? I think I'm gonna stick with my, and I don't have much or anything to support this, but I'm gonna stick with my Uncle Ray the lamp is the villain secretly guess from episode 1. Just because
okay.
I don't know if it is. It's weird to like introduce a new character who's like, I was the bad guy all along now. So
I hope not.
I hope they're not going to do that. So I'm going to go with the lamp because I don't trust him. And Sissel is that other guy's identical twin brother.
just like a twin.
Identical twins.
Yeah,
I'm going back to my roots, a la Shakespeare.
Yeah, just a classic mystery.
Yeah. Doing like a little bit of a switcheroo.
What's a name that rhymes with Sissel?
Missile.
Besides Missile, like that, like is his
Nothing.
brother's name like Thistle?
Bristle.
Oh, Bristle's pretty good.
It sucks to name your twin sons with rhyming names, is what I think. You shouldn't do that.
Wait, why? It's cool.
No.
Well,
okay, fair enough. Your Honor, I accept.
Dessy,
I accept the
how about your predictions?
I honestly don't even know. I don't know. This game is going in directions I didn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I don't there's no way to predict what the fuck is going to happen next.
Okay. Well, we are going to be finding out real soon. So, get ready. You can follow the show on pretty much all social media networks now. We are on Twitter at Ace Attorney Pod. We are on co-host / Ace Attorney. You can find us on our website, updatedautopsy.report. Stay up to date on everything that we do. You can also watch all of our Let's Plays of Dessy and I playing through the games at youtube.com/@Yotseben. You can follow me on, again, pretty much all social media networks.
Is it at Yotseben or is it YouTube user Yotseben?
No, YouTube changed the way that usernames work now.
Oh my fucking god.
So if you are a recent YouTuber, like YouTube username, like adopter, which I didn't have an old one, right? Because I wasn't, didn't have a big account back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it is now youtube.com/@Yotseben. So yeah, if
That's
you
dumb.
it is the ats in the URL.
That's dumb.
But that's how they handle usernames now on YouTube. It is a little strange, but yeah, you can follow me on pretty much all social media @Yotseben. I'm everywhere. So, Dessy, where can people find you?
Yes, this is Des on Twitter. If you're ready for that.
Damn.
I'm on the
Tiago?
hyperfixation train.
Oh.
I can't help it.
Yep. That's all right. Tiago.
Right now, you can find me at twitter.com/Tiago S. Dutra. Wait, is the URL still Twitter or is it x.com now?
No, it's still Twitter.
Still Twitter,
funnily
yeah.
enough.
Wait, so it's still
Yeah.
called Twitter, but the okay.
It's
don't.
it's very funny.
It's the worst.
And sad.
It's the dumbest. It's
the worst rebranding of all time.
Literally, this man chose to lose like a dictionary level of branding for like
Any other company in the world would kill for being able for the fact that they have the word tweet right as part of like everybody's lexicon.
So sad.
And to just try to toss that is just so ridiculous.
I don't even like
anyway.
Twitter, but I do know a thing or two about rebranding, and oh my god.
I also have a Linktree. If you Google Linktree Tiago S. Dutra, that just gives you to all my other links and stuff. Yeah, no, I realized that like while the Noah's Ark is syncing, that is Twitter. I figure that I should just have like a singular website that contains all of my links.
That's good advice for everyone.
Yeah. So like, hey, if you depend on social media, fucking get a Linktree, put all your links in there, because like creating your own social network web has been getting kind of easier because Lord knows it's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Weird PSA for my intro.
Yeah, I have one as well, which Linktree is linktr.ee. So it's Linktree/Yotseben. So I assume yours is Linktree/Tiago S. Dutra.
Yeah,
correct?
that's why I said straight up to Google Linktree Tiago S. Dutra, because I don't know how to type in the URL for Linktree. That's
linktr.ee.
Oh yeah, it's impossible.
That's why I just Google Linktree and then the name, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rose, how about you?
Hey, you can find me at ResNonsense on Tumblr and co-host, and nowhere else for the moment. Oh, I did get a Blue Sky, but there's nothing on it.
Yeah,
but maybe
we're on
see.
Blue Sky, but I don't. We'll see. I don't know if Blue Sky's got the juice.
Come hang out on co-host instead.
Yeah, I prefer co-host if we've got to choose between those two. That would be my preference.
Using our massive power as hyper-specific podcast influencers to direct our people.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We hope that you will rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. We would love to do another push here of reviews as we are wrapping up Ghost Trick to, because it really does point people to the show more. We are basically one of the top results now when you Google or when you type in Ace Attorney on iTunes on the Apple Podcasts app. So I'd love to be the number one. We're kind of bouncing around in the top 3 basically. And I think that would be really cool if we were the number one result for Ace Attorney. So if you write us a review, if you like us and do that for us, we will read your review on the air on the show. And you can help bump us up that list.
My birthday's coming up. Do it for me.
Yeah,
do it for
exactly.
Dessa's birthday.
Do it for Dessy.
If you guys don't do it for Dess, I'm going to be a little sad.
All of us will cry.
All of us will cry.
Next episode, we'll be playing chapters 15 through 18, which is the end of the game. So play all the way to the end of Ghost Trick. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.